All right, y'all. I thought I would try to come back. Oh my goodness. I cannot wait until I am out of Comcast's grip. And it's okay. I already transmuted it, man. Like, it seemed like, you know what? When I had Comcast years ago, I was trying to work a work from home job. And I swear to y'all, every single time I would go online to start receiving calls, the internet would just go down. It was weird. So I got trust issues with them for real. And normally I don't have Comcast. Pretty soon it's gonna improve. Um so I am currently uploading the Straw movie review. And I just wanted to say this real quick though. Um People like me are under attack. And do I believe that there are certain organizations that want people like me under attack every single day? Yeah. Do we care? No. Do we really believe they have power? No, we don't. But it's weird because your opinion, especially as an empath, can lead to some very uncomfortable feelings if you're not protecting yourself in social media. And it's weird how they have certain ones of us under target and attack. And they've got their puppets. And it's so weird because is it actually a part of real life in our reality? They would like it to be. But there are many of us that don't go for that. You know what I mean? If you have anything that happens in your life, like social media is being used as a tool. Of course it is. Of course social media is being used as a tool. That's just like with my recent experience with the landlord. Just because some people are talking crazy in social media does not mean that I'm going to lose sight of who the true enemy is, which was my landlord. Which, honestly, at the end of the day, it was the landlord. It was the decisions that they made that affected me. It was the discrimination. It was the laziness. It was them. But I'm supposed to believe that, you know what I'm saying? So it's weird the way they want to try to program. And I'm not talking about white people. I'm not talking about even a group of people. These are people of different races and ethnicities, and they just want certain things to be happening with people. And I think that they randomly chose people, which was a mistake. I think that they should have actually checked these people's Akashic records. It's very bizarre. So here's my thing. If it triggers you at all, Tyler Perry, I personally think he did a great job at this, making this movie. It was one of the best movies I've seen thus far this year. It was actually a great movie. But in social media, you are not ever supposed to be given any kind of credit to a black person, especially if you're a black person. In social media, you are not supposed to ever show love. This is how they want to program us. So and at certain times, on a Thursday, on a Tuesday, you're supposed to switch it up. You're supposed to be on someone else's agenda. You're supposed to be up and down. The puppet strings are supposed to be within your consciousness and your spirit. And when they decide, go live and say that you don't like black people, go live and say this and say that. For me, I am not the type of person who is going to allow my consciousness nor my voice to be persuaded. In fact, I was actually in shock to see so much of that in social media, to the point where I had to take some time to sit and figure this out. So the review is about 30 minutes. I'm not going to take up too much of you guys' time. If you guys want to take the time to look at it, it does have spoilers. Um, but I will say this, that when the movie first starts, it's hard to watch. And the reason why it's hard to watch for a lot of Black people, especially, is because of trauma. Not only that, trauma, and then the programming that is happening to them in social media. The stuff that I know about what's happening in social media to some Black people, especially, I don't even let it anger me. I don't even let it anger me. Because you know what? What good is anger gonna do? What good is being angry about it gonna do? It's a good movie. I can tell you that. It's not something that you have to necessarily take with you and like it's gonna ruin your life. It first of all, I think that it has a lot to do with Taraji P. Henson, who that sister is. Ooh, she is good. She is good. Now, as a Black woman, I'm not supposed to say that. I'm supposed to say that Taraji P. Henson ain't shit and that she's this and she's that, and I'm supposed to talk about her bad. I'm supposed to think that's what they want for certain people. And your channel's gonna be attacked. They're gonna try and attempt to even spiritually attack you for just being honest. I could tell y'all exactly who is up to this, but what's the point? It just gives them power that they don't deserve, that they're never going to get from me, but it's ridiculousness. I can tell you straight up and down, it is ridiculous. I, for one, feel that, first of all, I've never had an issue with Tyler Perry. There's, but, and I've never really allowed movies or music to dictate my life, but they can have a very powerful impact on people. So this movie is being talked about. There's even spiritualists that are going as far as to say, don't watch it, which is understandable. Like, I don't judge nobody for what you're saying. That's the one thing about me, because there's some people, if you say something, they're wishing death on you. If you just say a generalized opinion that doesn't hurt another person, that person is looking at it from their perspective, and that's it. And they have the right to do that. But if you give the movie a chance, then you like, whoa, it's a movie. It's interesting. And I think that we need to focus on understanding that when things like this come up, that it should ultimately lead to healing. So I go into a lot of that. I basically tell the movie, especially for people that want to know what it's about, but they don't want to watch it outright. So, you'll be able to get like a glimpse of it through my review. Okay. And it's uploading right now. Another thing I wanted to say is that Another movie review that I think I already did that review. I'm not sure. I will tell you that some of these movies, though, you need to be careful and you need to be prepared to watch them. I don't think that you should not watch them, you know, uh, but it's The Deliverance, and it just that particular movie within itself. And I'm not saying don't see it. I'm not saying to not see that movie because it almost makes it seems like it's a Monique thing against Tyler Perry, and we know that Monique and Tyler Perry has a fucking beef. I personally don't care about their beef. Whatever beef they got ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm not going to stop watching their movies or liking or loving them any different. I'm Switzerland. That's what you got to be. So I know it kind of sounds like I'm putting down Monique's movie that she was in, and I don't have shit to do with that. I don't have nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? So it's really a trip how sometimes when it comes to Hollywood or these individual actresses and stuff, how it seems like people are expecting for your opinion or how you feel about something to somehow create death and destruction in your mind and in your life. It's really weird. I did not like The Deliverance. I like the actress in it. Beautiful, very good actress. I love Monique. I just didn't at the end of the movie, it just wasn't a good movie. It just the whole thing with yeah, no, it and it's probably because of my difference in opinion and understanding of spirituality. I'm just gonna put it like that, And so, but that movie from the beginning of it, it just felt ick. It did, and I felt a little bit of that ick while watching Straw, but as I watched it, I said, "Damn, this is a good movie. This is a good movie." And then when the plot twist came up, that's when I was like, whoa, and it's just a good movie in general. I recommend seeing the movie. Y'all can go and look at the review as soon as it's done uploading. And I think at the end of the day, the message is love and trauma, so you'll find out whenever you watch the review what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. Because the next day after watching that movie, I just felt like everybody knows that I love, 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 love my kids, my grandkids more than myself, but it magnified. You know what I'm saying? Like it just so it hit me differently, and it probably is going to hit other people differently from other people. But I kind of was going by the message of the movie. And so it is not a movie where it's just showing this black woman like, oh Lord, what is I gonna do? Oh Lord, Lordy, 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 Lordy. It's not that. There's a reason why Taraja P. Henson, the character that she's playing, is so fucked up in that movie. And so it's just a good ass movie, and I'm gonna watch it again. I'm gonna watch it again. Yes, I am. I'm gonna watch it again. Okay. Trust me on that. Y'all know y'all can trust me. They don't want people like me being heard or seen. You got to be a part of the agenda. You got to be a part of the agenda, which is weak mindedness, powerlessness. And if you ain't that, they don't like you. They don't like you. And we're not talking about anybody that's anybody. We're talking about people that obviously ain't nobody that got time to sit around and mess with people's channels. I ain't got time to sit around and mess with nobody's channel. That's crazy that we got that kind of crap going on. Crazy. So anyway, that's pretty much it, you guys. Regardless to Black people's response to it, for me, I have a deep level of understanding as to why. So this is the reason why I'm not just saying, oh, these Black people are crazy, they this and that, da, 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 da. No, I totally understand. Like I overstand. I overstand. For real, for real. Seriously. So, anywho, I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. All right. Blessings to y'all. Bye bye.